Happy Halloween. This is Guy here with the Nashville service in Slidell, Louisiana to go over your spooktacular forecast for tonight and the next few days. However, the forecast does get a little tricky as we get into the later portions of the work week and into next weekend. However, the good thing from the forecast is there is no expected blood of innocence on Hitman Beach in the next 7 days. So real quick, let's look at your trick-or-treat forecast for tonight. As you can see, we're going to begin the late afternoon, early evening into the 70s for pretty much most of the region. However, you'll see temperatures start to decrease around 5 p.m., especially as we get closer to sunset, with temperatures dropping nicely after 6 p.m. So all you ghouls and goblins and ghosts out there, make sure you have a light jacket with you or some possible, undergarments to keep you warm as you're getting through those last few houses around 7, 8 o'clock to make sure you get as much candy as possible. And then as you see, as we continue to go on the night, any of you older ghouls and ghosts who are out there partying, be careful to not drink too much because it's going to be a little chilly as we get to 10 and 11 o'clock at night, as some areas start to get into the mid and upper 50s by 10 o'clock, and then will continue to fall, with lows looking like tomorrow morning in the mid to upper 40s and mid 50s across the region. So now as we glance into the rest of the week, your forecast is going to be quiet on Monday as high pressure dominates the region. However, you see to our north, there's that cold front. That's the cold front we're going to be watching. It will approach the region late Tuesday and into Wednesday, and then it's going to kind of stall and wait for the next system to move in. However, high pressure remains over the region, so we never get what's called return flow, which would bring moisture back into the area ahead of that cold front trying to get here. That cold front, though, there's a lot of questions in the models. They're kind of struggling right now with this system setting up later in the week. However, it looks like that cold front will push down into the region sometime late Wednesday into Thursday, and then through the area late Thursday. The question, though, is how much rainfall do we get? As you can see, there's high pressure over the area on Wednesday, and then high pressure just off to our north. So with high pressure there, it blocks any moisture from the Gulf of Mexico kind of getting into our area and actually goes more to the west. With the lack of moisture, we may not see much in the way of rainfall. However, we'll probably still see some light rain and cloudy skies as that cold front and system does push into the area. Heavier rain will likely be just off to our west and our northwest. Now, again, there are some concerns with the models and how they handle it. A few models want to show a little bit more rainfall over the area, and as you look at this graphic here, you see one graphic to your lower right has quite a bit of rainfall over our region, whereas the graphic to your upper left has no rainfall. So that's the big difference, is that the models are really struggling with how to handle Thursday. And what you see right here is the GFS ensemble mean, and it's rather dry as well. However, it does show a little bit of possible rainfall over the region, and that's why we're expecting some rain, but not a lot with this system on Thursday. And because we're not expecting a lot of rainfall, this is your 7-day rainfall totals, and you can see we're only showing about 1/10 to maybe 1/4 to 1/2 an inch across much of the region. But looking at the weekend, though, that cold front moves through and looks to be a little bit nicer. However, there's a concern with how cold we get. There's a rather large spread between the upper end of the forecast and the lower end of the forecast with respect to temperatures. It could be as much as 15 or 20 degrees between the high member and the low member of our models. Macomb, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Gulfport. And this is the forecast highs and lows. And as you can see, the red and blue boxes there, when we get to Thursday, Friday, especially Friday morning, Saturday morning, those boxes get much bigger. That means there's a very large spread between the top 1/4% and the bottom 1/4% of the temperatures. So with our forecast being a little uncertain, we're kind of taking the middle road right now until we get a better idea of what's going to happen with the system coming through late this week. Going into a little bit deeper of the forecast, you can see the models, even though if the colder doesn't come late this week and into the weekend, it's probably going to get here at least late in the weekend and next week. And we're looking in that 6 to 8 range, but especially the 9 to 11 day range of rather well below normal temperatures. One other thing to point out though is this is the 6 to 8 probability of seeing freezing temperatures. And we actually do have some probabilities of seeing temperatures drop below 32 degrees. They're not very high, they're only around 20–30%, but in that 6 to 8 day range, so you're looking at next weekend, maybe one or two areas could approach 32 degrees. We'll have to see. So that was your forecast for the next week and into the weekend. But how about a quick look at what occurred last week as we had a severe weather system move through the southern plains and the lower Mississippi Valley. It actually began well back in West Texas, West Oklahoma, but really moved through our area of Louisiana and Mississippi on Wednesday. The line moved into southwest Louisiana during the early morning hours, actually produced a couple tornadoes in near the border of Louisiana and Texas, and especially into Lake Charles area, and moved through south central Louisiana, kept the severe risk actually down, but once it kind of got east of I-55, it started to perk back up. Did get a few more tornadoes. We'll show those graphics in a little bit. The other issue, though, is you can see all the storms that kind of fired out ahead of the line, and it just kept refiring over those areas until the line finally pushed through. That area around Tangipahoa, northwest St. Tammany, and the Washington Parish got close to 7 inches of rain in some places. So that did lead to some flash flooding problems and some river flooding problems, mainly over like the Chifuncta and the Bogafalaya River, possibly even the Tangipahoa River. So did get more rainfall than we initially anticipated. So here are the tornadoes that did occur over the region. The first one is Mandeville. It's a very short track, EF0, moved basically right along Causeway Boulevard to the north. The second tornado we had was near Picayune. That was an EF1 with estimated winds of around 95 miles an hour. Then the third tornado we had was near Moss Point and Pascagoula during the late evening hours, and that was an EF1 as well. Well, thank you for joining us. Have a happy Halloween, and always remember, don't have a good day, have a great day.